Hello everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you how to automate filling out a PDF using data from a website form. What we're going to be doing is setting up a webhook from our website form to post that data to an integration platform like Make.com, and then using pdf.co we're going to write that data to a PDF. And if any of this sounds complicated, don't worry, because I'm going to be showing you how to set this up. And this is super helpful if you generate documents, contracts or agreements which data comes from a website form and you want to automate the process and not put up with all the manual entry. So let's jump into it and I'll walk you through the steps of setting up this workflow automation. So jumping to the workflow automation, I want to give you a quick overview of the four modules we're going to be setting up. The first being our website form, the next being Make.com, which is our integration platform that's going to wrap this entire automation workflow together. Then pdf.co, which we're going to be using to take the website form data and write it to our PDF, which of course needs to be a fillable form. So jumping into the test website I've set up, what it basically is a very basic form that you can come and fill out. And on the back end of this, and this is in Go High Level, I've set up a trigger that when this form is filled out, which is form to PDF, which is the name of my form here, we're going to send a webhook out to a URL, and all the standard data is going to be posted across. The process is similar if you use another website software or another form software such as WordPress and WP Forms. And jumping into Make.com, what we're going to want to do is we want to come to scenarios, and I've set one up, and you can get Make.com on a free trial and it's capable of doing this. So we jump into this scenario here, and the first thing we want to do as our trigger is set up a custom webhook. And what we want to do here is click add, and you name your webhook. You don't have to worry about the IP restrictions or any of the advanced data, but I've already set one up. And as you can see, this is your webhook URL. So when you're going to do a post request to it from Go High Level in particular, you're going to put this URL in here, and if you are using Go High Level, you just hit save, and that's sweet. So what I'll do is I'll send some test data to work with in this workflow, and I'll just hit save on this, and I'm going to run it once. So coming into the form, I'm going to throw in some test data, just throw in a random phone number and one of my own emails, so don't spam some other random person. And as we should see, let's just use the existing data, and as you can see, the data is being posted through, and this is from another form entry, so I'm just going to work with this one for now. So now we've got the webhook connected to the website form and we're pulling across the data. We're going to jump into pdf.co to set up our PDF. So in here, what I've done is I've signed up for a free trial, which has given me 10,000 free credits, which is enough for any small operation to run this workflow automation. And on the dashboard, what you're going to want to do is come down to files here, and I've already got one open, so I'm going to close that one off. And if I jump into there, you just hit the upload file button, and you're going to select your PDF file. And as you can see, I've already uploaded one, and just hit the view button so I can show you guys what the PDF looks like. So it's a super simple PDF with a fillable fields on it, and I've just set this up for the sake of this demonstration. So now what we want to do is write our website data to the PDF. But the first thing we want to do is find out what are the names behind these fields. So the way we do this is we're going to search for pdf.co. Now jumping into here, what we want to do is search for PDF and get PDF information. Now if you don't have a connection set up, it's super simple to add one. So I just go PDF, give it a name, and I'm just going to name it test, because it's going to be from my test account. And to get your API key, if you just come back to the dashboard, you'll see that this is here. You can just hit copy key. If you ever regenerate this key and this API key is in any of your workflows, it's going to break all your workflows, so be careful with this button here. And I'm going to throw this API key in here, and I hit save, and I exit that. As you can see, the new connection's been set up. Now, in the input file, we want to import a file from a URL because we've already uploaded our file to pdf.co. And as you can see, here's a URL we can use. Now this URL can only be used inside pdf.co or inside make.com or another integration platform where you can connect your account to from pdf.co, because if you throw this in the web browser, it will take you nowhere. So jumping back into make.com, if I throw in this URL, I save the module and I run this module only, what we're going to do is get a output. And what we're looking for is the field info, and as you can see in fields, it's picked up our 4 fields we've got in there, and what we're looking for is the field name and the page number. And you'll notice page 1 starts at 0, so page 1 will be 0 and page 2 is going to be 1. Can be a little confusing. So for the first field, it's going to be first name. For my second one, last name. And for the ones on page 2, which is page index 1, it's going to be email and phone. And it's super helpful that when you set up your fillable fields on your PDF, if you give the fields a good name to work with in one of these automations. So now we've got that data, we can add another module where we actually want to write this webhook data, which came from the form entries, into the PDF. So let's look for a PDF form, and it's going to be the same thing. I come to my files, I get the URL, and what I'm going to do is import PDF from URL. I'm going to throw it in, and now whenever one of these are generated, one of the PDFs are generated, you can give it a output name, and I like to give them a unique output name to sort them a little better. So I'm going to name it warranty form, and what I'm actually going to do is attach my email to it. So when we receive the file, it's going to be warranty form dash and then the person's email that they put into the form. And we're going to look for fields, and we've got 4 fields, so I'm going to click the plus button to make things a little easier. And back in here, we found out what the field names were. So coming into field name, we can write them all in. So the first field is called first name, and the text we're going to be putting in is the user's first name from our form. And of course, what page is it on? It is on page 1, which is 0, so page 0. Now you can change the font size, and if you want it italic or bold, but I'm not going to do any of that. Well, of course, the font name and colour. The next one is last name, and in here I'm going to attach the last name on page 0. Now quickly fill out the last 2 being email. I'll throw in the email, it's on page 2, which is page 1, very confusing. And here I'm going to throw in the phone, which is whenever someone fills out the form and it comes to here, it's going to pass their phone number into there, which is page 1, which is page 2, and that is okay. So won't do that. We'll hit OK on this, and we can actually unlink this module now because we don't need it anymore, and it's just going to chew up our make.com operation usage and our credits on PDF Code. If I align this to make it look pretty, I'm going to hit run this once, and I'm going to come back and fill out this form. Still waiting for data, so let's just throw in some stuff again, throw back in my test email. If I hit submit on this should be posted across to our webhook here. As you can see, it's done that, it's picked up the data, and now a PDF should be generated with that data. So if I come and view this file, hopefully we should see a PDF, as you can see, with all my data automatically inputted coming from the form. Now I'm going to show you a couple more things on how to get this PDF out of the workflow and into somewhere useful. Cool, so I've quickly paused to set up this SharePoint connection. What I've basically done is I've added a connection to my SharePoint, and this can go to Google Drive or can be directly sent over an email. There's a lot of ways you can pass this PDF, but I'm going to be doing it over SharePoint. So what I've done is I've added the connection, throwing it to my project site in the documents, which is your document library name, and I'm throwing it in a new folder I've called warranty forms. So I'm going to hit OK on that, and we'll see what errors. Is it going to throw me some errors? No, those have resolved. So again, I'm going to save this now. I'm going to hit run once, and if I come back into the warranty form, let's fill it back out again. I'll throw in my test data. Let's put in some dummy details because I'm not actually contacting any of the people or sending them data, so it's not like I'm going to be sending a text message or email to these emails. I'll let that do its thing. Hopefully it wants to load. And now you can see when this is generated, it is putting the file into SharePoint. So I've got SharePoint on my other screen. and I will drag it across for you so you can see. And as you can see, let me move my head. The warranty form with the email, although it hasn't put in the @ symbol, has been put in. And if I open this, wait for it to load, there should be the warranty form with all the data from the website form. So that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section, or let me get my head in a proper place. And if you have any questions about putting the PDF in a different location, or if you have a different sort of form, let me know as well, and I'll help you out with that. But thanks.